Hi, it's Worth from Singing Streets, the music tourist app. We are in Birmingham, here to discover the Black Sabbath sites, where they grew up, where they played, where they rehearsed, and we're really excited. Come along for the journey. We're starting our tour with Sabbath's childhood homes. This is Victoria Road, and at number 88, this gray house right here, it's where Terence Geezer Butler was brought up and raised. He learned how to play rhythm guitar here and eventually switched to bass guitar. Then he began playing in Rare Breed, and he was a lifelong Aston Villa fan, which will become relevant later on. Only a few blocks from Geezer Butler's house was Tony Iommi's house. This, unfortunately, it's now been demolished. He was at number 67, so it should have been right here. And his family had a shop on the ground floor, which his mother ran. His dad was a carpenter. But Tony grew up playing guitar here. He worked in a factory when he got old enough, and he had quit the factory because he had started Rare Breed, the band. They needed him for one last shift, and he went in. And on that last shift, he accidentally cut off the tips of a few of his fingers. And he had to learn to play guitar again with pasted on plastic tips. And he eventually got some really nice ones. But it's amazing that he was able to keep playing and eventually walked the 3 or 4 blocks over that way to Lodge Road, where he once again met up with his childhood friend, Ozzy Osbourne. And they started Rare Breed first, and then later on Earth, which became Black Sabbath. We're continuing our tour of Sabbath's childhood homes. This, number 15 back here, was the home of Bill Ward, drummer who originally played in a band called The Rest, and after that, he was in a band called Mythology with Tony Iommi. He lived here, I think, until the band took off. I'm checking in right now. We're continuing our Sabbath tour with probably the most iconic site on the tour, Ozzy Osbourne's childhood home. It's number 14, just here. This is where Ozzy grew up and where, for his 19th birthday, his dad gave him a microphone and a PA system, which was actually quite a nice gift because he knew that his son wanted to pursue being a singer in a rock and roll band. So then that allowed Ozzy to put up an ad at Ringway Music that said, Ozzy Zig needs a gig, or Ozzy Zig has PA system. And so a little bit later, Geezer Butler showed up at the door, knocked, and said, we need a vocalist. His band Rare Breed had just lost their vocalist. And Ozzy said, I'm your man. And because he had the microphone and the PA system, he got the gig. And that band fell apart a little bit after rehearsing nearby. And then a few years later, Geezer showed up again with Tony Iommi. And that led to Earth, which led to Black Sabbath. We're now on Station Road in Aston. And this is where Ozzy rehearsed for the very first time with his band, with his new PA system that his dad had bought him. And he rehearsed down in the basement here, in the cellar right there, with Geezer Butler. This is incredible that Ozzy started off right here and he ended up 1 block over for the very last time. It's amazing standing on this corner, seeing Ozzy's history in one view. Shortly after Geezer knocked on Ozzy's door, they came here with Bill Ward and Tony Iommi to the Newtown Community Center. It's now the Newtown Wellbeing Center, and rehearsed for the very first time. Amazingly, at that first rehearsal, they wrote the song Black Sabbath. I'm checking into it right now in Singing Streets on the app. And when they needed a break, from rehearsing, they went across the road to the Barton's Arms. Amazing, beautiful old pub. We're not quite sure if it's open, but if it is, please have a pint. They rehearsed their first couple of records here. They're right here, right in their neighborhood. After that first rehearsal, it was just a short while afterwards that they played their first gig at the Crown. So right after rehearsing at the Newtown Community Center, Earth were offered a gig at Henry's Blues House, which is above the Crown right here. This is where Earth played their first gig. They must have played the song Black Sabbath during that gig, and they eventually came back and played their first gig under the name Black Sabbath at this pub, the Crown. We're here at the final stop of our Singing Streets tour of Sabbath's Birmingham. Villa Park. It's where Aston Villa play. This is where the last and final Sabbath show happened on July 5th, 2025. It was a very emotional event. The biggest hitters in heavy metal came out. Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Slayer were all here to pay tribute to the band that started it all, Sabbath. Well, I hope you enjoyed our trip through Black Sabbath's Birmingham. It feels particularly poignant to be here just a week after Ozzy passed away. It's the Black Sabbath Bridge. There's a bench up there where normally people sit and enjoy their love of Sabbath. Now it's become a living memorial with guitars, balloons, flowers, and an outpouring of emotion for the band that put Birmingham on the metal map. Feels really, really nice to be here at this time. There's so much love for Ozzy. I hope you enjoyed the video. We really enjoy bringing these to you. And we did another video about Sabbath's album cover and the location there just south of London. So check that out as well. Please subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And have a great one.